you ever felt like time is passing faster than usual? It's as if each new day has just begun and ends in a hurry, and the things that happen keep happening, not giving me time to breathe. If you've been feeling sick to your stomach and your mind has trouble settling down lately, you may be sensing something coming. Something very special this week, unlike any other. There's something profound going on in the universe, and even though you can't name it yet, you can feel it approaching. It's like when you step into a strange room without knowing what will happen next, but your instincts tell you something big is about to happen. And yes, one of the most powerful phenomena of the year is coming, a total solar eclipse that will not only shake the sky, but also ignite movement within us. This is not just a new week. This is a transformative moment, a turning point, an opportunity to listen to what you are whispering deep inside. In the hustle and bustle of life, we often miss small signals. But this time, the universe did not whisper. It is knocking on your door with a very real force, enough to make you stop and ask yourself, where am I in my own journey? When you start to feel these changes, don't rush to think you're too sensitive or thinking too much. You are awake, because only those who truly open their hearts can feel the movement of energy taking place around them. You may start to find yourself thinking more about the future, questioning relationships, plans, and dreams that have been forgotten. That's no coincidence. That's preparation. We are entering a period where every emotion will be deeper, every decision will have more weight. And if you feel restless, as if something has to be done, has to change, know that you are not alone. It was the feeling of a door about to open, a gateway that will bring you closer to your true self, not the version others expect you to be, but the version you've always wanted to be. You don't have to understand everything right now. Just allow yourself to believe. Everything is happening for a reason. And this week, the universe is giving you an opportunity not to run after life, but to own it. Take a deep breath. This is not a normal week. This is the week where everything begins to change, and you, yourself, are part of that change. Have you ever had the feeling that time is passing so fast that you can't keep up? That every day seems like just a blink of an eye. It's morning and it's night. It's the beginning of the week, and it's already the weekend. You might think it's just because you're busy, but no, there's a deeper reason. Because this week, right as you are hearing these words, there is a huge movement happening in the universe, and it is directly affecting your emotions and your life, even if you don't realize it. March 23rd, a seemingly ordinary day, but is actually the first moment when the universe began to shift its gears. Just like when you stand in front of the forest, the wind begins to gently shake the tree branches, signaling that a storm is coming. Not with explosions, not with flashes of lightning, but with a silent change. Maybe you feel a little nervous. Maybe you suddenly remember old stories and forgotten dreams. That's no coincidence. That's the signal. But then on the 24th and 25th, suddenly everything went quiet. Nothing special happened. There was a strange silence, as if even the sky was holding its breath. And if you pay close attention, these days it's easy to make people feel depressed. When dopamine, the feeling of excitement, expectation, rises without anything happening immediately, you easily feel bored and doubt yourself. But let's not jump to conclusions, because sometimes the greatest things are hidden behind the longest silence. On the 26th, the universe took another step forward. The event of Saturn meeting the Sun happens. It sounds far away, but you will feel it in a very human way. The feeling of being put through an internal challenge. You may suddenly have to face a truth that you have always avoided. A conversation you've been putting off for so long. A long-buried emotion suddenly rushed back. It feels like there's a light shining straight into the hidden corners of your mind, and you can't avoid it anymore. Then, the 27th came a visually unremarkable day, but internally, something very powerful was happening. You may feel your heart is heavy without knowing why, or you're having fun, and suddenly something small makes you cry. You are not weak. You're just going through an old layer of yourself. These days are like an unannounced test from life, no clear questions, but asking you to answer intuitively. If you've ever felt like you're being pulled back into the past, like you're stuck in things that haven't been said, that haven't been clarified, then this is when things start to unravel. Don't rush to be fine, and don't try to ignore all your emotions. Sit down with yourself, write down your feelings, walk slowly, drink a cup of hot tea, and ask yourself, what is weighing me down? The movement in the universe is not to scare you, but to awaken you. This week, you won't be lost. What you're feeling, anxiety, hangover, uncertainty, is happening to so many other people. We are entering a period of transition, and the feeling of disorientation is proof that you are on the threshold of something very big. Like dusk, not because the day is ending, but because a new dawn is waiting behind. So, if you're feeling off, know that it's part of the journey. It's not that you're going backwards. You're being reset. Be gentle with yourself. Don't force yourself to have all the answers right away. Sometimes you just need to keep your heart open. The rest will be arranged by the universe for you. And then you will realize every silence, every empty moment in these days is to prepare for the moment when the light flares up the strongest, March 29th. But that's a story for tomorrow. For today, just breathe deeply and let yourself flow with the rhythm of the coming transformation. You know, there are moments in life that have no warning, but have the power to change everything. March 29th is one of those days. The day seems normal, but in fact, the universe is preparing to send you a message. Profound, powerful, and impossible to ignore. On this day, 3 rare phenomena occur together: a total solar eclipse, a new moon, and a conjunction between the Sun and Saturn. It sounds far away, but believe me, you will feel it. Not through the eyes, but through emotions, intuition, and even the nameless confusion creeping into the mind. It's as if an invisible door is opening, and you stand right on its threshold. You may feel like everything has slowed down. Things that seemed certain suddenly became vague. The plans you have made, the relationships that seemed stable. Suddenly, something makes you look back. But don't panic. This is not a disorder, but a reminder. Are you ready for a new chapter? At this moment, the universe is not forcing you to do anything big, but it requires you to be honest. Be honest with your feelings. Are you still holding on to something that weighs you down? A relationship no longer healthy? A habit that keeps you stagnant? Or simply the feeling of no longer being yourself? This is the time to look deep within. You will have 2 options. One is to continue living as before, pretending that nothing happened. The second is to have the courage to step into the area that is unclear, but full of potential. And I know the second thing is what you really want, because otherwise, you wouldn't have read this far. You may find your heart beating faster and your mind feeling pulled in many directions. That is dopamine, the feeling when facing something new, full of expectations but also a lot of anxiety. So use this energy to take action. No need to do anything big. Just write down one thing you are willing to give up. One thing you will start with. A door you've been avoiding for a long time, but will now walk through. March 29th is a turning point. No noise, no trumpets or drums. But for those who listen, it's a chance to start over from within. You don't need to be sure of everything. You just need to make sure that you no longer want to live the same way. And that's enough to change a lifetime. Trust that strange feeling, because it is a sign that you are reaching for something bigger than yourself. The universe does not send these signals to anyone who is not ready. And if you're feeling it, it means you're ready. Have you ever felt like there were moments in your life where everything suddenly changed direction, as if someone had just turned the wheels slightly and your boat took a completely different direction? This week was such a moment, and maybe you haven't realized it yet, but inside you, Every thought, every emotion, every decision is being influenced by a stronger flow of energy than ever before. It's no coincidence that you feel like time passes faster, important conversations suddenly happen, or things you were once vague about become strangely clear. That's because the energy of the universe is gathering, and you're at the epicenter of that change. Big change doesn't always come with a thunderclap. Sometimes it's as gentle as a breeze, but if you pay attention, you'll feel it. Negative thoughts gradually fade away. A toxic relationship naturally goes into the distance, or you suddenly feel inspired to start something you've been putting off for a long time. These changes, no matter how small, are a sign that you are entering a new door, and there is no turning back. What's special is that what you're going through isn't just an external change, it starts deep inside. Your mind is gradually becoming clearer. The questions that once troubled you now have answers. You begin to realize who is truly in sync with you, and who is just walking next to you out of habit. And even though it makes you feel a little uncertain, it is the beginning of a journey of living more authentically with yourself. You may find yourself changing the way you view a person, a job, or even yourself. In the past, you may have tried to control everything, always setting a plan, always hoping things would go right. But now, you feel like something bigger is guiding you, a force that makes you let go of your tension. Learn to trust the flow. And here's the fun part. When you start to let go of control and enter a state of openness, amazing things begin to happen. New people come, bringing with them empathy and positive energy. Opportunities that seem to have passed suddenly come back in ways no one expected. And the best thing is the feeling of right time, right place, as if you and life are finally moving in sync. Of course, any change comes with a feeling of insecurity. Our brains always like what's familiar because it feels safe. When something new appears, even positive, it makes us feel worried and cautious. But try looking back. How many times in your life have you been afraid to change? But when you dared to step beyond your comfort zone, you discovered something good waiting for you ahead. So, if you feel like you are lost, in the middle of a blurry area, understand that it is a sign that you are entering a new space, where you will learn to see things with a different eye, a new soul. And sometimes, change doesn't come from big pushes, but from very small choices. Choosing to let go of someone who makes you tired, choosing to believe in yourself, choosing to stand up after a fall. The great thing is that you don't have to understand everything right now. You just need to believe that every change that is happening is to bring you closer to the best version of yourself. Let your heart soften a bit. Allow yourself to feel more and be more patient with this transition. This isn't just the week of cosmic events. This is your week, a moment that marked an irreversible shift, and you have a choice. Let it carry you away, or step up and accompany it with awareness, courage, and an open heart. Right now, you are rewriting your future. Not by big things, but by small choices guided by the deepest connection between you and the universe. And once you realize that, you will see that you were never alone. You know, there are moments in life where we just feel heavy. Not because of work, not because someone hurt us recently, but because of the things that are old and exhausted, but we are still carrying them. Like a backpack worn for a long time, filled with memories, hurts, unspoken words, and unfinished dreams. This week, with all the powerful moves from the universe, is the perfect time to put down that backpack. It's not about throwing everything away. It's about looking back, facing, and then gently letting go. This is not a call to immediately change or transform into someone more perfect. It's a whisper that says, you are full enough to start again, in a lighter, more meaningful way and true to your true inner self. You can start with a very simple action. Find a quiet time. It doesn't need to be long. Just be truly present in that moment. Maybe late one evening, after everything had quieted down. Or early one morning, when you are still slowly coming out of your dream. Light a small candle, Sit down with yourself and write. Write down all the things you've been holding on to, the people who hurt you, the opportunities you missed, the things you wish you had done differently. You don't need to share it with anyone. This is your own space. And when you write, you will feel a miracle. Seemingly vague emotions appear strangely clearly. Maybe you will burst into tears. Your hands will probably shake, but don't be afraid. That is purification. That is your body being freed from invisible burdens. When you finish writing, fold the paper. Don't keep it as a souvenir. Don't read it again. Burn it or bury it in the ground, or let it float in the water in a way that makes you feel like you're truly letting go. And when that paper disappears, you will feel a space gently open inside. That is the new space, letting light, relief, and beautiful opportunities enter. Many people are afraid to let go because they think that if they let go, they will be empty. But really, we are just making room for something better. Like cleaning out an old room, not to leave it empty, but to let more worthy things enter. And you know, forgiving not because the other person deserves forgiveness, but because you yourself deserve peace. People who have hurt you, disappointed you, or abandoned you, they no longer control your emotions unless you still let them live in your mind. Letting them out of your heart is the highest act of self-compassion. And don't forget to forgive yourself. Wrong decisions, bad times, times of weakness are all part of the journey to maturity. When you start letting go of things that no longer serve you, you will find yourself stepping through a new door, more gentle, more clearly, and you start to realize, well, it turns out I'm no longer being held back by the past. I'm really moving forward. This time is a powerful wave of transformation, not just in the sky, but in you as well. And to surf that wave, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be truly you want change. Those who are ready, even by a very small step, will be led to a brighter future. So if you are reading these lines, it is not by accident. Maybe this is the reminder you need to hear right now. Start being gentle with yourself and let the universe guide you, because you deserve a new version, brighter, freer, and more inspired. And it all starts with that small action, daring to let go of something old, to welcome something new. You know, if you're listening to this part, this is no longer a coincidence. Maybe you felt something moving, even though you're not sure what it is. A little restlessness in my heart, an indescribable feeling every time I look up at the sky. It all has a reason. The universe is never unintentional. And the fact that you are here, listening, contemplating, is the first sign that you are ready for something bigger. In life, there are moments when everything seems to slow down. But actually, that's when your insides are starting to change. Sometimes we don't realize it right away. We keep running after work, relationships, responsibilities, but one day you'll stop and realize, I'm not the same person I used to be anymore. And that's exactly what's happening right now. The universe is calling you, not with noise, not with bright light, but by emotion, by the silent urge in your heart. Maybe you feel lost or confused because you don't know which direction you should choose. But believe that, if you feel the change, you're on the right track. You have begun the journey of awakening, not in a big, mysterious way, but in a gentle way. Look at yourself, realize what no longer fits, and courageously move forward. Here's the secret. You don't need to know all the answers right now. You just need to start with a small action. Maybe write down the things you want to let go of. It could mean forgiving someone not to make them feel better, but to make you feel better. Or simply take a few minutes each day to sit still, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, how am I feeling today? That's it. It's just a step forward. And don't forget dopamine, that feeling of excitement when starting something new, will come faster when you proactively step into change. Like the first time you learn something interesting, or when you dare to say no to something old, you will feel a wave of new energy pouring in. You will feel lighter and clearer, That is the reward that the universe gives to those who dare to step out of their comfort zone. So, if you're feeling as though life is pushing you to make a change, don't worry. It's a gift, and you are being chosen. Listen, believe in yourself. No need to be perfect. No need to be 100% ready. Just get started. As for the rest, the universe will guide.